Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Ride Companion podcast with myself and Davey, who's back again for his second episode since his injury.
Yeah, dude, I am. It's nice to be back as well.
That was quite pro, wasn't it? You're speaking
really
more
nice.
normal. You were speaking more like Michael Jackson, I'll be honest. And if you've not had much progress, that is progress at least.
I agree, totally. I agree. Yeah, I've got a little bit more wind in me now.
You have, dude. You
a little
have.
bit more wind in the old airbags.
Yeah.
Still a little bit out of breath, I'll be honest with you. You might notice the facial hair's gone.
Fuck it. So you made it to the end of the street?
Just done it now.
Dude.
Just done
Well,
it.
you've got loads to be. So we've got improvements by the truckload, improvements by the ton.
Yeah, yeah, we have.
It's an Air Force One.
I can't do another podcast looking like that. I thought I can't do it, so I've set myself the goal of doing it today, this afternoon. So I just went and got it done now. The video will already be out. I'm trying to document my my injury recovery a little bit.
Hell yeah, I saw. It's good to just have something to do, isn't it? It's rad, yeah.
Yeah, and a bunch of people actually reached out, which I was really surprised at, and were like, why don't you make a video? And I thought about it. I'd already thought about it while I was even in hospital, like you did. I remember being in hospital thinking, I wish I had my camera. This might be somewhat interesting to people. Then I forgot about it for a while. And then, a few people reached out. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, all right, I'll just sit and just do a little bit of something. And then I'll just keep the GoPro with me as and when something happens or whatever. And I just feel like talking about something. So no real plan. I think I'm just going to try and document it because... what I have noticed, dude, how many people are injured? It's mind-blowing. I mean, I put that first little video out of just literally me talking about having been injured and what it's like and what I'm going through. And it's like a shit ton of comments. People saying I'm going through a similar thing, or I've just been through it, or I'm sat here injured. We had one guy, I believe his name was Paul, he's going through something with his arm, from what I remember. And he'd made a video on YouTube talking about us, like about he found the podcast because he's injured. And
no way, sick.
So many people. Yeah, it's kind of mind blowing, and it proper got me thinking. Like, do you class like our sport as dangerous? It might sound silly, but do you ever think about it like that?
I haven't. And then did I tell you a story about my good friend Tom, like fracturing his pelvis in like 5 places?
No, I don't think so.
So we were at the trails and we were riding, and it was quite busy. I normally ride with really the same people, you know, and people that I don't necessarily feel like are gonna carcass every 3 seconds. You know, you tend to ride with people that are like, I don't know, I don't want to be responsible for someone take them down a track or take them through a line, and I'd feel really bad about that. So we anyway, we're riding at the trails, and trails is really insular, and you don't often see people that you don't know almost. And someone came off, I think. Then Tom came off, and Tom's was really big one, like a pelvis. It was pelvis, collarbone, wrist, ribs. It was like really horrible. You know, he was and a KO. So it was like a lot of stuff at once. He's a gnarly dude, and he's in a lot of pain, and he's up and at it now, and he's walking again, which is sick. But anyway, so we went through that, and that was like a 2-hour crash to him leaving thing. And then everyone's kind of a bit weird. And we're like, right, I guess we'll crack on riding again. Riding again. Some dude fucking knocks himself out, and he's so winded. So he's asleep, and he's just... my eyes closed, can't breathe. And Bren just goes to me, fuck, I guess biking's quite dangerous then. And honestly, I hadn't really thought about it that much.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's dangerous, but like, yeah, I don't think of it as that dangerous. But get quite a lot of messages from people who are hurt, and certainly with the podcast, I think like when you're injured and you've got something that you can catch up on or you know listen to every week, it is helpful. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we do capture that audience definitely. You know, maybe
injured people.
Yeah, it could be injury companion, couldn't it, or something?
Yeah. What kind of injury related sponsor could we have? Like maybe like RedTube subscription or something.
Yeah, get back on the Tenga eggs or something.
Yeah, not a bad shout, dude,
right.
Is it? Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't
Some
know.
sort of chat room.
Yeah, it's really made me think about it more though. Like that, it is so many people reach out saying they're injured, and I was like, well, I've never really thought about it. You know, I mean, I know a few people, and there's a guy actually who lives down by you actually called Will Easy. I don't know if you know Will Easy.
Yeah, big crash for Will Easy.
Big crash for
Poor
Will Easy.
Dude,
So
yeah,
shout out Will Easy.
avalanche.
I know he listens as well. I didn't know about it, but again, a bunch of people, listeners, just reach out and say, "Oh, have you seen this? Have you seen this guy? Have you seen this guy?" And obviously, initially, a lot of people were saying about G, and I was like, "Yeah, I've seen that." Like, obviously, I've seen that G took a big one, and it has made me think about it a bit more. Cause
G's a robot though, dude. G's up and
G's
about.
is a robot.
I reckon G's probably on the roof fixing his aerial and stuff. Like, that's insane. Skull fracture, femur, compound fracture through the wrist. You know, the bone came through the wrist here, the arm here.
Yeah.
And 8 ribs. Like, the dude's just a beast, isn't he? And he's up and I bet he is. I bet he's on the roof cleaning out the gutters.
Made me feel pretty much like a bit of a, I don't like the word pussy, but he's back at it, and I'm just moaning
G will do
around.
that to you.
Yeah.
Gnarly
Yeah,
guy.
and I think that's the thing as well. Like, a few people reached out and said that, you know, it's good to see, you know, one side of someone being injured that's not a pro athlete. That's like, this is actually the reality of it for most people. You know, I don't have a physio. We don't have any special Red Bull treatment. It's just at home, like suffering.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't
know. I think like there is a difference, right? There's a difference if you. So, let's say even between you and I, there's a difference. So when I hurt myself, I don't really. It's not like. Even I go through the period of time after I hurt myself that's a bit like, well, that was fucking pointless biking. You know, like, you've hurt yourself biking. This is like permanent damage. What are you doing? But then it's my job. So I've always got that, like, well, dude, you got to crack on. You got to get back amongst it because it's your job. So psychologically, I can only ever go so far into like worrying about it before I'm just like, anyway, let's move on. Let's crack on. Let's get back on it, because you sort of have no choice. Like, G doesn't have any choice. What's G going to do? You know, G's a bike rider. That's what he does.
That's the crack. Yeah, it's true that I never really thought about it.
Yeah, I think it's different otherwise.
It is very different, isn't it? And you know, Emma and I were just sort of talking about it before, actually, about like what it's like for like the partner of who you live with. Like, you know, even with you, you know, it's your job, but Georgie, if you break your ankle or whatever, still has to look after you, still has to make food, still have to, you know, help you around. And, you know, Emma was saying, you know, I've only been home for 2.5 weeks, and, you know, I've not missed a meal, I've not cleaned the house, I've not cooked, I've not cleaned. And, you know, imagine that, that's hard. But then imagine if, you know, you're a working bloke and you've got kids.
Yeah, you're a window
and you've
cleaner.
got to sustain.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
And then certainly a biking accident would seem more pointless, wouldn't it? It would seem more like, what was I doing? You know, like, fuck, is it worth it? And all of that. But I think everyone thinks the same things, but certainly it's not easier for a pro rider, because I feel like it's also mixed in with like self-doubt, and you can't really have that if you're going to be gnarly like G, for instance.
True.
But there is an element of, like, you know, the clarity that comes from a crash, I think. And I think it's harder if you are a window cleaner and you've nailed yourself and you're out for 6 weeks.
I feel like I'm really lucky. Well, I am really lucky, and I've had to really have a bit of a reality check, especially after even last week. You know, I was a bit doom and gloom last week. I was a bit like over it, just in a bit of a bad place, to be honest. And I've definitely had a few days up until today. Really, today's a good day. You know, I've done my walk up the road, which was like my goal for the last 2 weeks. But the last few days, I've been in a bit of a bad spot, dude. To be fair, like, just a bit down on myself, and like you were saying, like a bit over it, a bit like, this is pointless. Really sick. Like, the pain pills are really affecting me. So I've got like a calendar now, and I'm really trying to get off them pretty quickly, because they're making me really sick and a bit depressed. I hate the word depressed, but
really,
that is one of the things there with tramadol. Like, there's a load of side effects with tramadol, and nausea, depressed feeling, not necessarily depression. I think that's a very different thing, but just a depressed feeling. So you just feel really numb all the time. And I've definitely, like, I've been struggling with that, because I just have no emotion. I'm just like,
no peaks
all the time
and troughs.
It's just the same, like, just a flat emotion.
Yeah.
So I've been struggling with that a little bit, and I'm like, that's again why I wanted to start making the little videos. It's like, right, this is what you look. Maybe towards the end of this, it'll be like, this is what you're going to go through. Probably, like, you're going to feel this way. You're going to feel like this.
Yeah.
This is what you probably need to do to get over it. But yeah, it's like I say, we were talking about that and like having kids and throwing that into the mix. And like I say, that's what I was going to say. I do feel really lucky. You know, I've got a business which is, it's okay. You know, I carry on. It'll carry on. I've got 2 business partners that are really supportive, and being a sales agent as well, that carries on in theory.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just not doing as much.
I think
know,
as well,
I'm going to take
like...
a bit of a hit financially, but I'll be okay. You know.
Yeah. You've got like a creative output that actually adds to your business, which is amazing, isn't it? Like if you worked in, you know, like many people do. Like if you worked, for instance, if you worked in retail, there's no way you can further your work in retail from sat at home.
Yeah, that's it. You just can't.
Yeah, like those wanky videos I did when I was hurt. They really, for every video I did, there was a lot of days where I couldn't be fucked to do a video, and I was like, what the fuck is the point? Why am I doing fucking videos of me? You know, essentially sat still. Like really, ultimately,
like exactly what I did. Just sat here.
Yeah, but like ultimately, healing is just you're in transit almost, aren't you? You're in between. You're not. There's nothing you can fucking do. It's just time. You just have to sit there, wait till it's better. Like, that's wank, isn't it? But for every one that I did, I had a lot of days where I was just like, I'm just going to sit here. This is wank. There's no point in doing videos. But when you do the videos and you have that creative output, and the same for the podcast, it's like, makes you feel good, makes you feel like you're working towards someone, regardless if anyone listens to it or not, or watches it.
Totally.
Who gives a fuck?
That's almost like a bonus to this now. Like I'd enjoy doing it anyway. I'd love to sit and chatting to you once a week, or whoever guest, or you know, if we weren't doing this series, I'd still enjoy doing it.
And maybe you are pissing in the wind, right? But if you need a piss, you got to go. They're wise words, right? You could be pissing in the wind, but you're still having a piss. You're still getting rid of that piss.
Yeah,
there you go.
It'll always dry.
Yeah, it'll always dry. The piss always dries. I've always said that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's true. So
hey, talking of cocks,
let's introduce our guest.
Let's introduce our guest to the show. To audio listeners, I don't know if this will be particularly interesting. I'm going to explain what I have here. After a strange podcast on my own, where I made a reference to a business idea I had about making cock statues. What turned up in the post but a cock statue, it would seem, and a triumphant one at that. Please explain to me, dude, what's going on here.
Okay, well, I think you summed it up pretty perfectly. The cock statue, or the statue story, was pretty iconic, and a few listeners reached out. There's about 3 actually who were like, I'm looking online for cock statues, I can't find one anywhere. So I did a quick eBay search and found someone who made, I don't know, what's it made out of?
Plasticast, right? So you researched into this, you did this.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So, you know, you got to be careful when you're sort of like critiquing a cock and balls, but I'm going to give you my opinion of it. The cock itself is a real triumphant bugger, and I would say of good size. The balls, however, very small, real little dinglings. But again, that, you know, I've got to be careful. I don't want to talk shit about, like, Dave, you can be honest here. Did you make a plasticast of your cock for me for the podcast?
Yeah, then enlarged it, doubled it up, and sent it down to you.
Yeah, not bad.
It's nice, nice little cock statue, really.
It's not bad. Good size.
Bloody good looking phallus. What are you going to do with it?
Are we going to have to black this out? Like, can you even put this on? I don't even know if you can put it online.
Yeah, I think we'll be alright.
What am I going to do with it? I was thinking of painting it. You know, like Warhammer paints. I was going to get some really realistic skin tone paints, and I was just going to make it as lifelike as possible.
Please do.
Do you know what I did? I actually, when I opened it,
I could have sent you all my facial hair down, and then you could have stuck it on.
Was it that puby? Yeah, your facial hair. Oh, was it? Yeah.
So bad. Oh man, it was annoying.
I think this actually means that the person has made. I don't really know how you do this.
Modelled on something.
Yeah, but right. So you then have. So if you're gonna make a mould of your cock, right? You need something that's fast setting to create the negative version of this. Does it bother you that I'm waggling it around a bit?
It's quite nice.
Still
So I don't
concentrate,
mind it. Yeah.
So this, he will have had to kept it in this position until the mould dried, which I think is very difficult.
Very difficult indeed.
He's got to stay still.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's actually just been crafted.
Yeah, I feel like being crafted's probably the one, isn't it? Especially with those veins on as well. She's a veiny one, isn't it?
Yeah. Real triumphant bastard, yeah.
I'm glad you like it. There's no doubt there's other things you can do with it when it's done. I don't know what. Maybe a kitchen implement. Maybe you can beat meat with it, like to flatten meat down.
Yeah. George asked me if we could throw it away, actually, last night. Can we throw it away yet? Not yet, George.
Not yet. Get another episode out of it, then it can go. I think it could go on the travels with you. So maybe you can slide it into some suitcases.
That's a good idea. I could stick it on the shelf behind. It just feels a bit,
It's aggressive.
It's aggressive. It's an aggressive look, isn't it, dude? But
it's an aggressive look. I like it, though. I'm glad you...
big thanks, dude. Big thanks. I think I'm one step closer to working out what I want to do with my life, and perhaps one step closer to the statue store that maybe one day I'll have.
Sending you a plaster phallus is the least I can do after you've done a solo episode. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets, isn't it? That's as far as the budget stretches at the minute with me not working. Plaster phallus is...
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. It came with a business card as well. Maybe we should do one of the local business shout-outs.
Oh, we should, 100%. Did it really come with a business card?
It did. I can't remember where it is, unfortunately. Damn.
Oh man, that's funny.
So how have you been otherwise? So you've been cracking on?
Yeah, I've been cracking on, man. I mean, let's be honest, the reality is not a lot going on up here at the moment. I'll be honest, there's not much happening. It's a lot of sitting around.
You watching shit though? Are you let's hear what you've been watching.
Yeah, that's a good one. I've been watching some stuff, man, and not that much. It's kind of boring, that I know, but not that much. I feel like there's two ways you can go with an injury, isn't there? You can either go down that path, which is just sat mindlessly watching TV, just scrolling shit.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go down that path.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Or you can go down the other path where you try and avoid all that stuff, which seems to be the path that I prefer to go down. Yeah. As much as I enjoy sitting and watching TV, I'll catch up with the usual stuff that I watch anyway. But then I'm like, right, I should really listen to some podcasts. I should read my book. And
that's the same shit, isn't it? Whether it's TV, podcast, books, it's all the same shit, right?
It's all the same shit, I guess. But yeah, what I mean is just not watching like mindless shit on TV.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Bargain on that sort of shit. I don't do that. I don't.
Anyway. I hear you. Yeah.
So this weekend mainly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've got to talk about the Olympics, surely.
The Olympics.
We've got to talk about the errors. I watched the first up was the Bmx Racing, which was really cool.
Very cool.
We double medalled in that, which is you have to throw some props out to Beth Shriver and Kai White. Kai White. Amazing. I mean,
absolutely, dude.
I started seeing a few things about Beth online about how British Cycling pulled funding from the girls. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
So really, really cool story that she worked as a teaching assistant for a little while, and that she basically had to crowdfund a lot of the money to get to the Olympics. Which
it was to get to certain events, wasn't it?
Get to certain events to get qualification. Is that right?
I mean, it's absolutely, yeah. It's fucking hard, isn't it? It's fucking hard. I mean, you can see how much how many people you talk to that have watched the BMX that would have never paid any interest in it ever. Like, it's been going on at this. This is one thing a little part of me resents about the Olympics is this shit goes on without that brand.
Yeah.
But no one gives a fuck. We got so many amazing athletes that no one gives a fuck about. We just pay attention to all these footballers, and that's run over.
And I'll be honest.
You know what I mean?
I've got to be brutally honest. If you asked me who Beth Shriver was 2 weeks before the Olympics, I'd have said, I've never heard of her. I'm sorry. And that's because I'm not in the BMX scene, obviously, whatever. I don't really watch the racing. but then now she's like a household name. And I agree with you. You know, I'm like I really should have known that. Like, I really should have known about it. I really should have been following the story a little bit better, because there's national races going on, there's world races going on every weekend.
Yeah, it's like
and
a good
no
thing
doubt
and a bad thing.
As good to watch.
Yeah, it's like a good
Olympics.
thing and a bad thing, because it means the Olympics is great because it means these people get recognition that they wouldn't usually. But then it also means that no one fucking gives a shit unless it's got an Olympic badge on. And actually, maybe people should broaden, maybe, or not even people, maybe like we shouldn't cover just one fucking sport. Yeah. Just covering football. You know, it's always
true.
bothered
like,
me.
Why? I mean, no doubt there's reasons for it, but you know, why isn't BMX on a Sunday afternoon on BBC of the World Championships, or even Park? I mean, dude, it's so good to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, and name a sport, dude, and we've got people. You know, there's so many people that are so deeply passionate about each and every sport, and no one gives a fuck. You know, and it's like
you think as well with all these channels on TV now that are mostly shite.
Yeah.
And reruns of shite.
Yeah.
There'd be some sort of place for like BMX. Or, do you know what I mean? Like
absolutely,
the X Games. Like why isn't the X Games on like TV? Like why do you have to sit and watch it on YouTube?
Yeah.
On some random stream. Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely,
why isn't it?
Yeah.
It just,
I mean,
why isn't it on?
Yeah, it sucks. GB didn't qualify for the Olympic basketball this year. And the BBLs had quite a tough time. The BBL is the British Basketball League. I know I'm talking about stuff that people don't really care about, I know. But like, obviously my brother plays in the BBL. And two teams, including his own, have actually folded. And, you know, I think actually they risk not even having a league. And you just think, actually, with the wages of two players, you could probably keep the league alive. And then you could... Not everyone wants to do the same thing. So, like, it'd be cool if... I think it'd be cool if maybe more sports were embraced, including our own and including other people's. Like, there's an opportunity for everyone to find their sport. And their sport can be their fucking saviour, dude. It can.
Dude, totally.
The best thing in the world, finding something you like.
Yeah.
And so many people are, like, stuck, like, hating life and not knowing why. I don't know.
I think you said it well there as well. Like, there's so many people so passionate. Like, you go to a BMX race, speak to people that are there, whether it's, you know, parents, they're so passionate about the sport. And these people are everywhere, but yet that sport isn't getting the recognition. It's an uphill battle to make a living, however way you want to term it, doing that thing that you love.
Yeah.
When you're even at the top of the world with it. I mean, you've got you know, again, the BMX women's Olympic champion now, up until a year ago, was working a part-time job, having to crowdfund to get to the Olympics. Like, that's... What are we doing?
And, like, I've got my head in the sand, I know. But... And I don't even know where this frustration is directed. I'll be honest. I don't even know who I'm holding responsible, which is a very easy position to be in, I know. But I do feel like... a lot more. You know, I do feel like we just don't... As a nation, you know, say the BBC, for instance, just as one outlet for news, they don't look very far. They just go for just like football. And I think football's flawed for me because I pick things up with my hands. So as soon as you make it so I can't use my hands, I'm a bit pissed off about it, to be honest. And for that reason, I'm out. I ain't playing football, dude. You have to use your feet.
Yeah.
No hate towards football, but you know what I mean.
Totally. And what is also kind of frustrating is that then the media outlets run with these sports for a very limited amount of time, and then it's done again. I think I saw, a friend of mine, Jack, who owns Asylum Skate Park up here, he put, you know, all the major papers this morning have got Charlotte Worthington.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. Yeah, she did the
won the
3
women's
flip, didn't she?
park. Yeah, like they've got her on the front page. And then they've been up to his skate park, Asylum Skate Park. The BBC have been there today to film a bit for BBC News at 6:30 today, which is amazing. Like, so good for the sport. So good. But how long does that last, really?
Yeah. Back to Love Island and football, dude. It's easy money, isn't it?
Back to Love Island and football, yeah.
I don't know if you or any of our listeners will relate to this, but certainly this is like, for me and my brothers and sisters, growing up, there was one show that you had to get up at 5:30 for. Trans World Sport, and I would sit there fucking watching that. It was like, dude, it didn't have to just be basketball. What I was looking for was basketball, but every time something new came on, it was just like we don't have to talk about football. It was like, oh fuck, there's a handball league in fucking Slovenia, you know? Yes, let's just watch that for a bit. Like, not everyone fits into the exact same fucking shape as most people, and like, I remember watching Transworld, and they had like little sections on particular athletes, and they would be really interesting, and you'd be like, fuck, this person's making money off handball, or this person's making money off windsurfing, and I didn't even know you could race windsurf boards. I don't know. I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. It didn't work.
No, you're right. But I remember I used to do the exact same thing, but again, because Transworld used to cover the Supercross and motocross.
Yeah, sometimes. Exactly. Yeah,
and at that point, that was the only time you could see it. It wasn't. Oh, the Supercross. I don't know if you remember this. Used to be on Channel 5 at like 2 a.m. in the morning. And you used to do that thing where you have to put the little code into your VCR so it'd record it. You get up and try and watch it, and it'd like miss the first half, and then it'd
100%. I'd do it at NBA games. We had like 3 games that we just watch over and over again because they're the only ones that the recording worked on or whatever.
Yeah. So I wonder what that is, though. Is it that it's the Olympics so that people will watch stuff? I don't know. You know, again, you speak to anyone at the moment who's half interested in sport, and you said it last week. Oh, I watched Taekwondo. Or I watched swimming, and I was actually quite interested in it. Or like, we don't have that happening regularly. It's just not. No. It's not a thing. Like, good luck finding Taekwondo and karate on TV for another 3 years. You know, it's not going to happen, is it?
It doesn't feel like these days. It doesn't feel like it's almost celebrated as much. I feel like, particularly with like reality TV and stuff, we're kind of content just watching. For me, a lot of the program, maybe this is revealing about myself and it's bad, but a lot of the programs are like, they're fucking aiming low, dude. You know, they're like, a lot of the really popular shit is like, right, we'll get this bloke because he's awful, and we'll film him for a bit, and then we all get to watch, and it's like car crash TV, and it's like,
it is.
That doesn't do anything for anyone. Maybe it makes you feel better about yourself for a second, but it's
distraction.
But dude, it's not like having a goal in life or an aim or like a passion. Like, that's the shit. That's so good. And to me, it was so easy growing up to like idolise Michael Jordan in every facet, because it was like he was so amazing. Whereas now it's like, what have you got? That little rich kid from Made in Chelsea. You know what I mean? Well, I don't want to be like him. He's a fucking. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he's like, I don't know. He's not done anything. He's got no spark about him that makes him even remotely interesting for me. He's got nothing in. I'm sure he's made a load of money, but just through what? Yeah. Through fucking whining on, and I don't even know what he does. I've never watched it.
Most of it's just money from those shows anyway. It's just rich kids that it's all money that's been passed down through generations. Like, there's the dude, isn't there, whose dad invented or granddad invented like digestive biscuits or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all just passed down money, and then just rich kids who don't know what the fuck to do with their life other than be dickheads on TV. I don't know.
Poor fuckers, they're getting rewarded for it like handsomely. Yeah. So it'd be a tough life to just be like, right, well, it seems like the more I'm a dickhead, dude, the more I get paid. Jeez.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sounding real negative, but
no, it's not. It's an issue. It is a problem. It's not easy to find. Like you said, it's not easy to find your sport.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, it's not easy to find stuff that interests you, that inspires you. I mean, really, if you think you're going to put a device in people's homes around the world, that should be the most inspiring thing.
Yeah.
Really, every night should be full of inspirational, fun, good stories. But what do? It just blasts you with shit.
Yeah.
And bad news, right? Like, the news is just all bad. And you just think, fuck, what am I doing? I'm just going to watch something that's boring. Well, not boring, that's just going to distract me from all the shit that's going on outside.
Yeah.
But really, it's not that bad, is it, really, at all? If you don't watch it, if you choose to sort of take a bit of a approach of not watching the news and focus on your community and your friends, it's actually pretty damn good, in it, being alive, let's be honest. It's pretty
good.
Sick.
I don't mind having my head in the sand, dude. A lot of the time I don't. I really don't. I feel like we need to get more current affairs, though, because I feel like both of us could do with broadening our horizons, maybe. And also, it always leads to good conversations. Like, I honestly don't know if I'm off on a lot of stuff, and I say it on this podcast, and maybe I say it like all I think is I've thought about it. I don't actually think I'm right. So if I have an opinion, feel free to shoot me down and tell me to shut the fuck up, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm bumbling through life without a clue, you know. We need current events. That's what we need.
Yeah, we're going to do some current events. I think once we've got the producer up and running as well.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Then we can do some current events. We can talk about some stuff. We can have some viewpoints. I want strong opinions. You know, that's one thing I've never really had. I'm not really a strong opinion guy. Yeah, I'm not a strong opinion guy. I'm just like bury my head back in the sand.
I don't think it's good being... I'm a strong opinion guy.
You are?
Yeah, you come across as an arsehole. And I never mean it. I never mean it. But I just think a lot about stuff.
Okay.
And my way of making life not too chaotic is to have an opinion. Nissan Micra, don't like it. It's shit. I don't want one. Then that's gone. That's swept to the side. I don't have to have a Nissan Micra now. That's gone. So, and then you ask me, what's a Nissan Micra like? It's shit, dude. Don't want it. That's my way of organising thoughts, having opinions. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. I feel you. You know what then? Let me ask you something, because this was a topic I was potentially going to bring up. I got two actually. One of them that I wanted to talk to you about for a while, but I keep forgetting. But the most recent one. Have you seen the thing with Amaury Pierron?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So just to summarise then what that is. So Amaury Pierron got cornrows in his hair, which is...
Cornrows. Rolls.
What's it called?
Cornrows.
Cornrows. Is it rose?
Yeah, not rolls.
Oh, that's how bad. That's how off I am. I'm so bad.
I don't know if you ask for that in a hairdresser. I don't know what you get. A load of pizza crust. Just.
All right, cornrows in
Yes.
his hair, and then there was a racist stereotype attached to that. Would you say? And then he's posted a caption on his social media saying something with an N-word in it.
Yeah.
To a song playing that's the N-word.
It is lyrics in the song, yeah.
Lyrics in the song.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not a strong opinion guy. Let me just say that off the bat. And I don't understand a lot of this. I'm quite naive. I'm quite, I just don't really... I just go, that'd be my normal, like, oh yeah, all right. So what's your take on that? And then let's see if we can I don't know, try and figure it out what we think.
It's had real effect. So the bike cleaning sponsor of his team is now pulled out of the team. So it has a real effect on how you deal with the situation. What he's done, he has a massive following. It's dumb. He didn't think about it. If you have a massive following, you have to take responsibility for it. So... Fucking dude, you can't blame the dude. It's like you forget you're on your shitty phone, you're videoing something, you're reposting your friend's story. You're not thinking. It's like that's why we look at social media, because it's like a window into someone's life, and you kind of hope that it's not like, certainly most of my social media is quite thought out, which is probably why I'm not as good at it. Like I'm like treating it. I'm not treating it like a window into my life, because to be honest, I don't want people to have a window into my life. I want to crack on and post a couple of whips, That's But that's what
you use yours very much as a job. It's a great outlet,
absolutely, and I don't mind sharing certain things and stuff, but I wouldn't be caught. I feel like I'm less likely to get caught in that way. I would say that he's messed up. Yes, does it mean he's racist and that he should have loads of money and funding taken from his team? In my opinion, no. I think the conversation in this respect is people need to take responsibility for what they put up on their social media and not be dummies. He's just been a dummy. Yeah. So I do have an opinion on it.
Maybe
I think,
caught up in the moment, and and again, maybe there's a few beers deep. Who knows? Your judgment's going to be off after a few beers. After you
got to be careful. It's not nothing. Every time you post a story, it's not nothing.
Especially, it's not nothing when, like you said, one of the major factors in this, then I guess, is that he's got a big following. 130,000. That's
the only factor. People put up crazy shit all the time, and it's literally the only factor. He's a nice guy. He's not. I would say he's not a racist guy. He's, I understand we have to react to these things, but I just worry that there's like an angle these days. There's like this kind of like virtue signally angle where it's like, you know, like the cleaning brand that's jumped on it and essentially sacked the team. If there's an ounce of them thinking we can get a positive, people will view us positively if we do this.
Yeah, like a PR stunt almost.
Yeah, if there's an ounce of that, then that's bad because they're using it as currency then. So they're going. So then, you know, imagine if you were sat here with me and I was just fucking looking out for things where I could pounce on you. I could be like, Davey, dude, what you said there was out of order. I can't be associated with you anymore. Just the whole time, if everyone was doing that, it's shit. What you know is he's done something dumb, full stop. We can talk about it, yeah, we can, and we should. But I don't think it's good when companies start trying to almost you use it as like currency. So those are my opinions. I actually try and dull down my opinions a bit on the podcast, but fuck it, I think opinions are good.
I think they're good.
Yeah.
And it makes for good podcasting too. It makes for good comments. It makes for good conversations to come off it. You know, we might learn something ourselves.
Right.
And we probably will learn something. But
absolutely.
I think
ready
for
to
me
as
to take
well.
my stand on it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, to be honest, again, I'm a bit of I don't really have a strong opinion on it. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that, you know, maybe that like cancel culture that we see in society now, and that like pointing the finger and, oh, right, you're cancelled, see you later. I'd hate for that to start to come over into mountain biking, but at the same time, athletes, team managers, media need to be professional at all times. You need to be watching what you're saying to your fans, especially someone like Amaury. You know, he does have a big following. People are going to look at what he puts. People are going to look at him for inspiration. People are looking at him for, all sorts of things. But then there is that sort of, like you said, again, perfectly really, of then the companies take it and try and get some positive PR out of it, and it's like, okay, again, let's say that cleaning company did pull out. Again, all right, that's the decision they've chosen. Does that need to be a press release, or can it just happen,
dude,
without
exactly?
And it's the same
press
with social
release
media,
is like
and this is the problem,
parading
isn't it?
down the street. Look at us.
Yeah, but this is the problem with the whole social media thing. It almost goes back to that thing. It's like, okay, Amaury could have corn rolls. His team manager could have took a photo. They could have had a laugh. Did it need to go on social media? Probably not.
No,
like,
it
didn't have to.
It's like Chinese whispers, isn't it? Especially when you got repost. You don't even. Sometimes you won't even read it. I don't think.
No.
And it was 100% wrong, and it had bad language in it, and it had racial stereotyping in it. I agree. All of that all of that is bad, but it's dumb. It's so difficult, isn't it? I just think
it's hard.
It's his mistake, yes, but if everyone, you have to. I feel like people have to like hold themselves to the same standards. And if you think you've never said anything,
is there anything he could have done differently? Like, do you think he obviously apologised pretty much straight away, from what I understand? He was like straight on it, like, look, I'm really sorry. But then this effect starts, doesn't it? This like snowball effect of, okay, the media have picked it up, the sponsors have seen it. And again, like, that's where almost, I'm not saying that's where the problem is.
Yeah, jump on the negativity. And
that's where things just blow up, because we've got access to the information so quickly.
So
back in the day, it wouldn't have happened.
Cancelled, you know?
Yeah, like, oh wow, look at the amount of comments on Pit Bike on that. More comments on that than any other article.
And like the Olympics is going on, and then we're all talking about that, like, and it's this like crowd mentality, like everyone on Amaury, you know, because he's fast, he's a big name, he's got a big following, he's an interesting guy, like, jump on him, let's beat him down, you know. That's what it feels like to me. Whereas is it very big news? I don't know if it is. I think it's almost like the news, really, if it could have been dealt with in 5 seconds by his team manager going, dude, you got to take that down, it's inappropriate, check yourself before you wreck yourself, social media needs to be monitored, you know, we need to be a little bit careful, then that would have been it. And we could have celebrated Tom Pidcock winning the Olympics. It's more important. It's more interesting. It's
better for the sport, for sure.
Better for the sport, exactly, yeah. It's difficult. It's a weird time, isn't it? Weird time.
It is a very weird time. It's a weird time to be alive at the moment. Yeah. And I don't think, from a personal perspective too, I've ever felt more disconnected from society than what I do at the moment.
Mate, it's fucking funny you say that. I've actually, I've written down in my book was like things that make me feel like a stupid alien. But I have these thoughts all the time, and
Right.
it kind of is like a current thing. Yeah,
It is. It is a current thing. What makes you go on? Tell me what's in the book. I'm interested to know what you'd write down.
dude. When I write
This
these
could be
things down, I don't remember how I felt at the time. It has no context, but I remember what it was about.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote here: don't understand, not part of society. And I'll tell you what all of this was about. I went street riding in London, and nothing can make me feel weirder than a quick trip around Harrods. It just makes me feel like a complete alien, and I have these moments the whole time. I think we talked about it before, like where you just think, "Fuck, I don't get it. I don't feel like I'm part of this." Certain things. Do you get that feeling?
100%. So can anyone walk into Harrods? I didn't know. Is that?
Yeah, dude. It's not invite only. Jeez.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like, maybe a dress attire or
No,
there's like
they
you
let
can
me
just
in,
walk
so I
straight
don't
in.
think so.
Okay, I didn't know that. So yeah, there's often times when I feel like that, dude. Most of the time, if I'm honest with you, I often feel like that. I feel like things don't make sense.
Innit,
or
yeah.
like, what the fuck? What's this?
Absolutely. You speak to people, you're like, "Whoa, what am I?"
A different human.
Yeah, what am I? What even
Different
am I?
species almost.
Like, well, of
Yeah,
course.
so what
don't
made you think
spend
that
on a
in
handbag.
Harrods especially? Yeah, okay,
Harrods
that's going
is
to be
just
the thing.
insane. There's sunglasses, like fucking sunglasses, for £3,000. There was a jumper for £900.
Wow. But people buy that shit, dude.
Yeah, and they buy it proudly.
I'd love to know. Yeah. But for what? For what? I think that's it.
Oh, dude, I loved it though. Such good people watching because they're buying it proudly. They almost want you to have a look. They're a bit like, check this out, and then they're carrying the bag and they're like to me, it's bizarre because like if I spent £900 on a sweatshirt, I'd be deeply embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like some people don't have sweatshirts, so if I'm walking around with a £900 sweatshirt, some people are cold and they don't have sweatshirts.
Yeah, no doubt not too far away from where that shop is.
Dude,
Probably
exactly,
outside,
yeah.
There's going to be a homeless person.
There's going to be someone
who
cold. There's going to be someone homeless.
That
Yeah.
will change his life. That money would change his life.
£900, dude. Are you serious? You need a jumper. Like, there's also all it means. It doesn't mean that it. Let's say a normal profit margin is 30%. That doesn't. It doesn't mean that £900 jumper costs £600 to make, and then they make £300 profit. No. It means they make like fucking 700% profit, and then you're the chump walking away. That's what it means to me. But again, strong opinions, guy. Maybe I'm wrong, and I feel like an alien. So
I've always understood that with like designers like let's say Yves Saint Laurent or that sort of stuff. When it comes to the sort of perfumes and aftershave, like all that stuff. Just think how much that must cost to make. Like it's literally
with water, in a glass bottle.
Yeah, some chemicals in a bit of water, and you're like, oh yeah, 40 quid, 50 quid, or whatever. And then, but from what I understand, that allows them to then sell the more expensive stuff, which is the handbags, the clothes, which, like you say, a 700% profit margin or something like that, just to wear a logo. It's mind blowing, isn't it?
Like if it makes you happy, then that's great. But I just don't understand it, isn't it? And it wouldn't make me happy, so that's why I'm not necessarily even knocking. I've just literally called people chumps that buy £900 sweatshirts, but I'm kind of not knocking it because if you've got that much money, then maybe it's fine, and maybe if you're a fan of fashion and you really love the design elements, and I don't know, man.
Maybe, but again, I think there's limits, isn't there? It's like I know what would happen if. Let's say you speak to someone who's bought that jumper and they're a bit naive maybe and whatever, and you're like, look, why have you spent 900 quid on this jumper? And they'd be like, well, why have you spent £9,000 on that bike?
So true.
That's the debate you get
so
into.
True,
be
dude.
Like, well, I mean, you're right. Like, surely they'd be like, well, a bike's a bike, so
true.
just buy a £200 bike. Yeah.
For me, a bike is like a ticket to a number of different fun experiences and like real life things. So that would be my only argument, dude. Because I can be like, but a bike can take me to a sunrise. Your sweatshirts can't do shit, but maybe it can. Maybe they're very good. I won't know until I try. And if it makes you happy, and also sorry to any high fashion listeners, I feel like we're not going to have that many, but
I don't think there's many listening. But to be honest, But you never know. It surprises me, mate, where people listen, how they listen all the time. But yeah, no doubt there might be a couple out there.
So that was my Ollie feels like an alien.
Perfect segue then into something else that I wanted to talk to you about a few weeks ago.
Nice.
I've been off the back. The space race. I just find this so interesting, of all these billionaires with all this money trying to get into space, and it just blows me away. The whole thing is just so alien to me, that you've got Jeff Bezos, who just spent, I think it was 5.5 billion for 4
To audio listeners, I'm doing the cock statue launching into the air.
But this is the thing. It literally looks like a cock going into space, right? Have you seen it?
Yeah. Where do they sit? Do they sit in the bell end or what?
They sit in the bell end.
Yeah,
they
I want to sit in the
well,
bell end.
I think they sit in the thing and then they move into the bell end.
Do they?
Yeah, as it like, I might be wrong. As it the bell end leaves the shaft and then falls back down to Earth.
And then is the door on the urethra?
I think it is. I think the urethra is the. Yeah, I think it is. Dude,
Oh man,
I mean, I read a few stats about this, that, you know, with that money he could. I think he could stop. I think it was 41 million people dying of starvation.
Yeah.
With that money that he spent going to space for 4 seconds, and the fact that he shaped it like a giant cock, just to me is the biggest insult ever. It's like, look, I've fucked this planet. I'm getting in my cock rocket and I'm going to go and fuck another thing up. Like, that's how it. He's literally just fucking the planet in his cock rocket. It's just. I don't know, man. And then you've got Richard Branson, who he's going up there now and he's floating about in space, telling people how much of a good person he is, and you can do this and you can do that if you try. Meanwhile, he's a piece of shit. I mean, you know, you look at some of the stuff that he's done over the years, dude.
Yeah.
What?
There's the opinions coming out.
Because it's just pointless. What I don't understand about it is, our countries, this world, it's not good. I feel like there should be a definite sort of limit to, you can't leave until it's better. You can't fuck it up and then just be like, actually, there's another planet, maybe we can get there.
Equally, can you look to the people who've made that much money for advice on how to help others? Because if you've made that much money, you're a very small percentage of people who can work out how to make the world work for you. Like as in, I can't make that many people buy something that I sell. True. You know what I mean? So these are people we're looking to for them to care about. They've already cracked what they're interested in. They're interested in making money, dog. They're not interested in helping people. So then you're looking to someone who's interested in making fat wedge, and then you're being like, well, can't you help us make water purifiers for countries without running?
Help us poor people first.
Yeah, I'd see it as potential. I mean, the one thing I would say is that, like, if you can make everyone have a bit of disposable income, then you can sell them all those fucking stupid jumpers. And the world would be a happier place. So it's actually almost short-sighted. You read Factfulness. You need a book to read. It's the one that, dude. I'm not book guy, but it's the one that I recommend the most. It's called Factfulness. Yeah, and that's a good one for injury.
Okay,
real good. Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out, mate.
Real good worldview. It'd be a good one to talk about. Yeah.
I got this annoying thing of, if someone recommends a book, I have to buy it. So I'll have to buy it now.
Yeah, I can send you mine if you want.
No, I'll buy it. I like
a little message
books.
or something.
I've just read a really good book, actually. Yeah, called Sacred Economics, which is really, really interesting. And that's definitely what got me thinking about a lot of this. Because that's all about getting back into more gift culture. Yeah. Of like, we don't have to exchange money for stuff. You can just swap things. You can, do stuff like that. And trying not to be so, I don't know, blasé with our spending, really.
Yeah.
Buying £900 jumpers and stuff. Or you could buy a £50 jumper and give 850 quid to charity.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting book. Anyway. But yeah, it's good. I think we've touched on some good subjects today, haven't we?
Yeah, why not? I've got one more that's funny.
Yeah, please.
I just wrote... It was good. I did a bit of prep for this podcast, dude. This is completely unrelated to anything.
That I was going to be useless, probably.
No, I don't know. I just sometimes have thoughts and I note them down, and sometimes I have no thoughts and I don't note anything down. But this week we got a lot of thoughts. I thought people like funny stories, so I thought I'd tell a funny story. So my brother Henry, who's a basketball player, he is like he's like a 6'5" athlete, right? And he's finished training in London, got his headphones on, he's at a train station late at night, and he's just, dude, he's fucking vibing. He's got Beyonce on.
Okay.
He's got Halo on. All right. Okay. So he's chilling with Halo going, and it so happens he's like into Halo now, and it's like bringing up emotions. You know, music's like quite like,
yeah.
When you've got a track that you're really feeling, you kind of feel in it, don't you? So he's at the train station. You know, that wasn't the best impression, but anyway, whilst this is going on, a mugger tries to take his phone and smacks him. So then he's beaten up on a train platform, a mugger with Beyonce Halo playing, which I think is so funny. And that was the end of the story.
Wow.
Imagine beating someone up. Like he's knocked the guy out. The guy's on the platform. He's a mugger.
And then Beyonce's,
yeah.
Halo, Halo.
Hello. And yeah, I was just thinking,
wow.
It made me think, like, because I get real, if I have the right music on in the gym, I go after it. Music really affects me. And I just thought could there be a worse song to have on in your headphones as someone's punching you in the face, trying to take your phone? Thought it'd be a good point of discussion. I thought people would like stories like that. Probably people have their own mugging stories. Probably.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Probably though.
Probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably will. Right, that's brutal. Yeah. So when I was in the hospital, the guy opposite, he'd been mugged. Well, he hadn't actually been stabbed. He was in the news as well. It was really sad. Yeah, a guy 30 odd years old, stabbed 34 times, I think. He was bang opposite me in the hospital.
34.
Yeah, a load of kids jumped him.
What with
So
fucking
sad.
pencils? Is he alright?
He was okay. Well, he'd been in there about 2 weeks, I think.
34 is so many times, eh?
Yeah, scary. Horrible. Well, that just got dark. Shouldn't have brought that up, should I? As for songs I wouldn't want playing in my ears when I got mugged.
When you got stabbed.
I'm going to... Yeah, or stabbed. Halo is probably up there, I'll be honest with you. Anything by Beyonce, any Beyonce album.
It's just not like it's not an offense track, is it? You know, like if someone's trying to beat you up and you've got
defense.
Yeah, it's like what? Oh, it's pretty bad. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other ones.
So where was his phone? Did he just try to get it out of his pocket? Like, what was the deal with that?
I think he had it in his hand. So the guy's like smacked it. Like the guy threw a punch, and Henry's like a lovely chap, but he's like the mugger's not going to win in this scenario. I don't know why the fuck the mugger's going to like pick on like, like he's like a competitive dude. He's not like a
yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it was the wrong. The guy didn't do his research. He fucked up, and then Henry went back to him afterwards and helped him.
There's a
as well.
Yeah, there's a jiu-jitsu guy. He's one of the guys I think who invented jiu-jitsu or brought it to America. That
one of the Gracies
followed down the. Yeah, he might have been one of the great. He was getting followed down the street, and he started live streaming it. And he's like, "Watch this!"
Oh, dude, it's unreal, isn't it?
It just fucked him up.
What a tool to have.
Live streaming. Yeah, serious tool to have. It makes you think, man, for sure. Especially if you've got stuff like that going on around you. People just trying to pinch stuff. You want to be able to protect yourself.
Yeah, it'd be a good one. I think it's a good one to have, particularly if you don't have the most confidence. I think, I can really picture how like self-defense or a martial art would be a brilliant thing to have, and just feel, yeah.
Well, I hope he's okay. That sucks.
Who, the mugger?
No, I hope he's fucked, but I hope Henry's okay.
Oh, Henry's fine, dude. He's fucking...
Yeah.
This was ages ago, by the way. It's just I don't know why I remembered the story, but... Yeah, he's fine. He was almost embarrassed to tell it, and then he went back and checked that the mugger was okay. Because that's really what's... Yeah. Ultimately, people don't go mugging unless... I like to think people don't go mugging unless they kind of gotta,
Yeah, it's desperate, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
wants that 900 quid sweatshirt, dude. Just gotta have it. Gotta get those iPhones in, haven't you?
Gotta have it.
Get down to cash converters. Get him swapped in for this sweatshirt.
Tell you what, he's not going to find a 900 quid sweatshirt on any member of the Wilkins family. Look, I can tell you that for free. There's nothing but moth-bitten fucking... I like to think all of us value the right things. Or, in my opinion, the right things. Let's move on.
I feel you. That's funny. Do you want to... I got a little bit of context on one of those things, actually, that we had last week. So do you remember this photo? Hang on.
Is it the one in the dark cab? It looked like inside a car.
Yes.
I can't remember what we guessed at. Was it an ambulance?
It's coming now. Hang on. It's not working, dude. It's just not doing anything. It's just got a spinny line.
Oh damn!
So that's wank, isn't it?
That is wank. Is that our first technical issue?
Could be actually, couldn't it? Yeah, it could be.
Not
oh well.
going.
Well, no, not bad going at all. I'll come back to that. Let's see if we can get it to work in a second. It might just all of a sudden start working.
Yeah, too right.
You've been listening to anything? Have you got a listening?
I've tried to go outside of my normal 90s hip hop genre. So it's called Tin Liquor and Hell Salute, and it's Because You Move Me.
Tin Liquor. Oh. Because You Move Me. Straight away, found it there. Look, 63 million plays on Spotify, so it's doing well. Add to playlist. There you go, folks. It's in there already. Hook It Podcast playlist.
Fantastic. What you got?
So, I'm going to go with one of my favourite bands. Have just put a new sort of mini album out. Atmosphere, hip hop group from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And he just put it's like 4 tracks out called Word, ? And it's A-side. So Word, ? A-side by Atmosphere. It's got 4 tracks on it and they're all bangers. Yeah, love it.
Rad.
Big fan. Big fan of those guys. It's just one of those bands or groups, I don't know. It's not a band, is it? Hip hop, really? Would you say hip hop band?
I'd say it's a group.
Hip hop group. I've always liked, always followed them. Just big into it. So whenever they put some new shit out, I'm always into that. So yeah, really cool. Yeah, so the thing isn't working, so let's just...
All right, no worries.
It's a shame, really. We got some good ones of where people were listening.
I love them, actually. We got to keep people sending them in, because it actually blows my mind that someone's listening to this tribe.
It's insane.
In such amazing places, and there's so many people that are into it. It's wicked. It's stoked.
Well, I have got that video already.
Yeah.
The photo, so I'll use it and then I'll tell you more about it.
Perfect.
Because you don't need to see it, do you?
No.
You remember he's sat in a police car. Here's the image for people watching. There you go. So Track and Wolf, that's his name. He just used the Track and Wolf on his photo, so it was a bit confusing. So he uses the name Track and Wolf. Is a police officer in Arkansas.
No way.
Arkansas, and he's an avid listener. This photo is where I am listening usually to the podcast. It's in my patrol vehicle. There's no dude with me, which you said you look like there's a person outside of him with a carabiner on.
Him,
yeah, it's his medical bag with a carabiner on it. I was in the middle of uploading the photo and got a police call and didn't get to give the description. Davey, I've had a ton of injuries over the years and I wish you a speedy recovery. I go by Track and Wolf due to the nature of my job. Thank you guys. Keep the laughs coming. Keep the podcast going strong.
Oh, that's sick. Wow. Nice, hey, if there's ever an excuse to not put the description on the photo you send, it's that. Well done, Track and Wolf. Yeah. Nice one, dude.
Well done, Track and Wolf. That was cool. So thank you for that. We did have a few more, but we're going to have to do them next week, I guess. It's just not working. We had a guy listening over in Denmark on a canoe in the river. It's really cool. We got a bunch.
Oh, I love that section. Really, really cool. Rad.
Yeah.
Makes me want to do more podcasts, dude. Not going to lie.
It is kind of crazy when you see how many people and where they're listening, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a bit of a mind blower, that, to be fair.
Oh yeah, isn't it?
It's a bit of a trip. It's really, really cool. So keep those coming, folks. There's a link in the show description. Press that. You can upload your content. You can now leave a bit of a text as well, so we actually know what it is rather than just a random photo. And we have to try and figure out
the only time
what it is, where it is.
Yeah, the only time that you're allowed to just leave it is if you're being called to a major shootout.
in Arkansas. For sure. Little bit, I guess, a little bit of housekeeping. We're hopefully going to have an insurance company joining us at some point. We'll keep you posted on that. Again, loads of people have reached out saying that they want something similar, that they've had issues with them before. They just want a genuine good company. So with a little bit of luck, we're going to have an insurance company join us soon. We'll be able to pass on a nice little bit of a discount and stuff like that for listeners. So that'll be,
Yes, so don't buy any insurance. Hold out.
Yeah, don't hold out until we come at you with a reputable company.
Exactly. I've got one.
Yeah.
What I've been watching.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
And what I've been watching is the sort of film that you put in your Tinder bio. It's not really like a
Shawshank.
It's not Shawshank, but Shawshank I would put in there because it kind of feels like it makes you seem a bit sensitive, doesn't it? Or like Into the Wild, if you're like, oh, I love the outdoors.
Yeah, good film.
Anyway, it's Castaway.
Oh, I watched that not long ago.
I haven't seen it for a long time, and it was wicked. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it made me think a lot about what I would do in that situation, which I think is like I felt quite instantly frustrated about the things he does and how he does them. You know, like what would you do if you were in that situation? You're on an island.
Dude, it begs. I mean, geez,
yeah.
Scary, really, isn't it? You know what? I haven't been cast away at all, but I have been left in some water in the middle of nowhere, and it's pretty scary.
Yeah,
it's amazing what your brain tells you to do, man.
Yeah, but he's not swimming; he's on land. It's all right.
Yeah, he's on land. Yeah.
It's not that instant
plane
panic.
crash, isn't it?
Yeah, plane crash. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. Plane crash looks like it sucks.
Plane crash wouldn't be good at all. Dude, good film that. I watched it not long ago, probably about 2 months ago for the first ever time. I'd never seen it before.
No way, yeah.
And hell of a good film, actually, when you think about that film.
It is.
So well made.
And the closing lines as well are actually really good. They're real good closing lines.
What are they?
He talks about how he's struggling with existence.
Like being in society.
You know,
and stuff.
he was on that island. He thought about taking his life a load of time, and his words I thought were quite good. They were like, "You never know what's gonna come in with the tide." So what he bought in like a corner of a portaloo. I don't know if you've seen. This is a proper spoiler alert. Who gives us fucking been out for like 20 years? Get fucked if this is a spoiler. So yeah, and he said that was. You never know in life when the fucking lid of a portaloo is going to wash up on your door and you're going to end up sailing out into the ocean and back to normality. And I guess it's quite a cool analogy, I thought. You know, if you're bummed, you never know.
Was it a true story?
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
No.
Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. 4 years on an island, I don't know. He didn't, and in that movie, he didn't have one wank. I don't believe it's a true story. If it was a true story, it would have just been a bloke on an island wanking.
Right, let's test out this memory wank theory then.
Yeah, just that's all it'd be, wouldn't it? First
thing man does when washed up. Right.
In 4 years, imagine how complex the techniques would get. Be hollowing out coconuts.
That football would have a hole in it, wouldn't
it? Football. Wilson would be stinking, man. Wilson would be fucking.
Wilson would look like a cheese grater.
How do we make Castaway about wanking? What's wrong with it with us? Jeez.
I tell you what, I watched last night. Actually, because I didn't do a watching, did I? I just ignored it. We watched a film last night called Good Boys on Netflix.
Don't know if I've seen that.
And it's bloody hilarious, dude. I think you'll like it.
Is it cool? All right.
It's about 3 young kids, and they go to it's actually directed by Seth Rogen.
Oh, sick!
It's got like Seth Rogen vibes, but they try and get to a party to have the first kiss, and all sorts of things go wrong in the middle of it. And dude, it is a funny film.
Rad.
And it's the first thing I've watched that's funny because I don't like laughing because it hurts like hell.
Too right.
And I couldn't help it, man. It was really good. So yeah, Good Boys.
Sick.
Good Boy. Yeah,
Good
Boys.
I actually think I'll watch that tonight.
You'll enjoy it. I think.
I'm not watching, the new Space Jam, which I might be going to the cinema to watch the new Space Jam.
Oh wow, cinemas! Wow, I didn't know cinemas were a thing anymore. I thought they'd all shut down.
Yeah, I don't know what it'll look like, a cinema. It might just be, I don't know. Everyone's sat in a separate portaloo watching a TV.
Maybe in a bubble.
Yeah. But yeah, the new Space Jam's out, and growing up, Space Jam was quite a one that I watched.
Yeah.
I
Definitely remember seeing it as a kid, but not seeing it for years. So, I wonder if that's on Netflix.
Space Jam.
The original.
Yeah, it will
original.
be, won't it? Yeah. Space
Might
Jam.
be. Might. I'll check that out, I think. Anyway, yeah, Good Boy. Definitely check out Good Boys, though, man. Watch it with the missus. It's a good giggle.
Right, done. I think I've actually gone through all of my notes, so now I have nothing more to say unless you take control of the podcast.
Yeah, I can take control.
Fantastic.
I can take the reins of this. Should we do some listener questions?
Yeah, sure. Literally all I can think of is just talking about wanking on Desert Island more. And I think we've spent already enough time, more than enough time on this podcast.
I think so as well.
Listener questions it is.
Listener questions. All right, here we go. Let's get into them. Just opened them up for the first time, which is always a bit scary. But Deadpool 2E, what are you doing to promote your bone recovery? Good question, Deadpool 2E. As far as, I'm not doing much, which I think is actually helpful. I'm trying not to do much, trying to sit around a lot. I've actually just ordered, to the disgust of my girlfriend, some bone broth. Just because I heard a thing ages ago, right? And this does make a bit of sense, but it might just be woo-woo. So let's say you have an issue with your kidney. In theory, you should consume kidney. If you have an issue with your eyes, you should eat eyes. That's maybe a bit off. Maybe you have a brain injury, you should eat brain. So on and so forth. So I figured, and a lot of people have commented this as well on YouTube and through DMs, if you've got an issue with bones, bone broth is what you need to be consuming. So that's what I've done. Right. I've ordered the best quality bone broth I could find. And I'm going to give it a go.
I mean,
other than that,
who cares if it is woo-woo? You know, really?
Yeah.
Have some bone broth. Why not?
Bone broth. It's full of collagen, full of healthy fats.
That's another one you can
give it a
go.
go.
You can supplement collagen, can't you? And like glucosamine and calcium.
Glucosamine.
And all that shit,
yeah. Taking a lot of vitamin D at the moment. 12,000 IUs of vitamin D a day, which is really high.
Yeah.
So anything like that at the moment, Deadpool, that's what I'm doing, just to try and help.
Hey, do you know
hot showers?
What I heard was one of the biggest ones is just don't drink alcohol, which actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because if even just a pint,
especially if you're on opiates,
there's an inflammatory response, and if your body's trying to do anything other than fix your bones, I go super clean if I break a bone.
That's exactly what I've done. Yeah, it's one thing I probably failed to mention. I've gone super clean with food.
Fucking right.
Not eating anything.
Yeah.
Anything that's inflammatory. No bread at all. Nothing. Just literally single ingredient foods, which I think is how you should eat anyway.
You'll be
if it's got more than one ingredient, it's not food. Yeah. We'll see. At Charlie Swain, just put Rampage 21.
Fingers crossed, my
Any
man.
Insights?
Fingers crossed. Basically, we've got, obviously, Bren came fourth at the last Rampage, so we have an invite. Myself and Deeks will be going as diggers, and Brendan will be competing, but it's only possible if it's possible. So we're waiting to find out whether we can even get to the US, which will be hopefully decided quite soon, because obviously the World Cup goes to wherever it's called, and all of those riders will need to get over there and all of their teams, so we'll be able to find out if travel from Europe to the US is possible.
Yeah, where is the next World Cup? Is it snowshoe? Or not snowshoe?
What have we got? We got Maribor next, haven't we?
Have we? I don't know. I've lost track. It feels like there's been a massive gap.
Yeah. I'm a bit off on the calendar, I'll be honest. But it is snowshoe, you're right, but the next one isn't. There's some racing in Europe.
Maribor,
I mean, actually, a lot of my friends have just left.
I say they've gone to Morzine, haven't they?
Everyone's left. Sam Reynolds has gone to Audi 9s.
Oh, nice.
And then Bernard and Bren, and it's been cool actually. We've had a load of good riding recently. Everyone's been about. Bernie's got Sam Gale, who also competed in Hardline. The junior from his team is here. I think he's a junior. He might be elite. I don't know. Young gun anyway. So we've been running trails with him. Iago Gary's been here.
Oh yeah, I did see he was around. Yeah, I saw that.
Riding some trails with him. Yeah, it's been good. And now it's just everyone's left.
Yeah.
So Bernie's away for like 5 weeks, I think.
Maribor it is, next one. 14th and 15th of this month. So 2 weeks.
2 weeks' time.
Yeah, and then Lenzerheide, then Snowshoe.
There you go. So, yeah, we'll find out as soon as we find out whether anyone can go to Snowshoe. If you see English riders at Snowshoe, then I think we're going to Rampage. Which is quite exciting, isn't it?
Dope. Yeah, it's very exciting, man. I'm looking forward to it already, hopefully.
Bit of freedom, dude. It's too right.
Yeah, get out there. We got Stuart.able. Ask Ollie to look at the Scarlet Hotel just outside Newquay on Google Maps.
Right, the Scarlet Hotel.
Okay. Dick pic, it says. Okay.
I'm clicking on it on maps.
While you find that, hopefully if it's a good one, we'll throw a photo up for our watchers in a sec as well.
I mean, yeah, it looks like a dick, yeah. It's a chic, adults-only seaside hotel with spa. And it looks like a dick.
Oh, right, okay. Interesting. Does it really?
Yeah, dude, our listeners know what's up, don't they?
They know what's up.
Thanks, dude.
Oh,
thank
dear.
you. And thank
Jin. Got Jin.Sandhu.
Jin's here, yes.
When will we see this new whip of Ollie's?
The new whip? What is my new whip? I don't even know. What have I bought? Have I bought anything? I don't know if I've bought anything.
Don't know. I know we talked about farm vehicles last week, but did it inspire you to buy one?
No, I've not purchased anything. No, I might be soon. I'll show you after we stop recording. Might be soon.
Okay. Something
new might be coming. Ooh. I love shit vehicles. Nothing yet, dude. Working on it.
Okay. All right. Charlie 3 Tapster. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good is the John Pound?
Oh, it's 10 out of 10, the John Pound. I've been going there since I was a kid. We used to have literally oil barrels with dirt up against them, and we've been jumping and hurting ourselves in my friend's garden at the John Pound for years. So it's great, the John Pound. They're still, they really put you super high. So you get loads of Gs and then 0 Gs, which I really like the feeling of it in trails. So I love the John Pound. 10 out of 10.
Nice.
At the John Pound. If you want to.
Yeah, I'd give it a 10 as well, just from my experience of being there just a couple of times.
Yeah, of course you got experience of the John Pound.
So it's a 10 for sure.
Yeah.
This is a good question. Imogen.mtb, our whip-off winner from Freedom Road. What's a skill you would love to learn?
What would it be for you?
A language. I think I'd like to learn.
I was just going to say a language, dude.
Well, fuck you. I've had it. Can't say it now.
Other than a language, I'd like to know. The skills I'd really like to have are people skills. Better people skills. I'd like to. If I turn up at a party, I'd like to turn up at a party and not be like, oh god. I'd like to be like one of those hey, how you doing? Hey, guys. So
I feel like you are, but maybe you're not.
Dude, it's not. It's fake. I try.
Is it?
Yeah, I put on a good show, I reckon. But yeah, I'd like to have. You know, when you see someone fully at ease in a party situation,
just
for
confidence,
instance.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got confidence, but it's like that kind of. I'm fucking uninterested by so much.
Do you think the podcast has helped you at all? It might be a silly question, but actually just sitting and just.
Yeah, it's good. It's like therapy, isn't it? Well, I don't know. But certainly, the podcast makes me realise I'm weird.
Yeah, that's.
So I get told it more.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah, the comments can be brutal.
Yeah. Skill, flat spins. That's all I can think of. Flat spins.
Nice. I'd like to know how to do something as well with my hands. I'm pretty useless, really. Woodworking, something like that.
Would you?
I really love the idea of I like home renovation shows. I like watching people make things, but then, and I'm that guy that's I'm going to do that. I'm going to put some, the one I've been toying with for ages, I'm going to put some pallet wood on the wall in the house and make it look all chic.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I get some pallet wood and I'm just I don't know what I'm doing. It's going to look a right mess. It'll just look a shit.
And then you bail.
and I just don't do it. I just like,
dude, fucking do it. You'll be up to that soon. Give it a couple of weeks. You'll be a pallet wood's not too heavy either.
No.
Get it done.
I
It's
don't
a good
know.
feeling,
Just some sort of
isn't it?
skill with it. Like, it's a good thing, isn't it, when you've made something or you've designed and manufactured something. I just don't have any skill to do it. It's one of the things of dropping out of school at 16. You just don't have any like physical like hand skills. I guess I've got decent communication skills and stuff like that, but I don't have any. I can't do jack shit with my hands really.
Oh, dude, and also chicks dig guys with loads of skills.
They do, like a van like full of tools and stuff.
You'd like to be more handy then, yeah.
Yeah, rather have a van full of tools maybe. Every now and again I do, rather than a van full of underwear and stuff.
Yeah, my buddy Seb's done a full engine build. I'd love to do that. I'd like to be more.
Seb's good with his hands, I've heard.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's good. I'd like to be better at like. Yeah, I'd like to do a start to finish engine build. That'd be sick. I've done a bit, but literally on this children's motorcycle behind me. That's the only engine I know well enough to like pull apart. But I'd really like to be able to, just like do an engine conversion in my G. It would be so good.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, there you go.
Skills.
Same person, Imogen. Another good question. Thoughts on any choices or paths you didn't take, and have you any regrets? Ooh, deep. Going deep.
Regrets.
Any regrets? I don't like saying I've got regrets. I really don't. I feel like I could have made more of a thing out of being in America for so long. I ended up just coming home because I was just a bit over it. That was my dream from being a very young child, was to go to America and, make a living out of being around dirt bikes. And I did and I didn't. I was there for quite a long time and then just ended up falling out with people I was living with and just came home. And I wish I'd have just stayed, and just like really tried to get an actual job and then try and get a sponsor and then actually live there.
Yeah.
But then saying that, I wouldn't be here. So
yeah, true.
I don't know. I wouldn't say I do have any regrets or anything.
You
like
can
that,
talk yourself out of regrets, can't you? I don't really feel like they're very particularly useful unless they serve a purpose in life.
No, you can't really live in the past, can you? There's no point. It's gone. It's done.
Yeah. I don't have any regrets in life at all. I would have. I don't like the fact that I've hurt myself so much to the point where I can't walk very well anymore. Like, I would love to be able to run and stuff still, and I was quite reckless when I was younger, and I do worry about head injury. Like, they're not regrets I have at the moment because I don't have any of the effects that I'm scared of. But that does scare me. Head injury does, and I've had a lot of head injuries, so I don't want to be like. Yeah, I don't want to have made any permanent damage to myself that I'm going to pay for in the future, which kind of feels likely at this stage. Yeah. But I don't have any regrets otherwise. Maybe not making it to the league, but then my brothers both played pro, so I'm happy.
Live it through that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, someone in our family had to be a pro basketball player, and they've both done it.
It's cool.
Yeah. I'm happy.
What does your sister do?
Netball.
Is it? Yeah.
Look, plays netball. Yeah.
Wow, I love those ball sports, don't you?
Love them, and bikes, obviously.
Yeah. This is a good question as well. Adam J _Jolliffe, I think. 5 tips for someone just getting into dirt jumping.
Just getting into dirt jumping. Okay.
And he's put, actually, it does say underneath, sending doubles and tricks. That's what it says underneath.
Sending doubles and tricks.
Yeah, so 5 tips.
So, the biggest tip would be start small and build up. The second tip would be, when I say build up, quite literally, start with a small jump. Build it yourself until you get bigger. Don't rely on other people to fix jumps, build them, clean up litter. Do it yourself, because this is the only way that it's actually sustainable. And I've learnt this the hard way through kind of starting a public bike park, and no one cares about it because no one has any ownership over it. When you build the jump, you have ownership over it and you learn to look after it. And those are really important things in dirt jumping. Because if you don't, if a jump gets beyond a certain stage, it's not fun to ride. It's really not fun to ride jumps that are that fucked. So that's a few tips. Really good things to learn are both the pull up and the race jump. So don't worry about tricks, dude. Just don't worry about it. Learn how to go high and go low, because they're really useful skills. Because if you can't get over a jump, you go low over it, you race it. If you need more speed for the next one, you race the one before. If you're overshooting a jump, you learn to pull up, learn to go slow. They're very useful skills, I think. Another one, please don't worry about your bike. It's one thing that kills me with dirt jump bikes. Just it doesn't matter, dude. Just fucking ride it. It doesn't matter. Just to a certain extent, obviously, you don't want it to be like snapping on you, but stuff. It really doesn't matter. It's my feeling.
We're going to be able to talk soon as well about some really good quality, very affordable dirt jump bikes coming soon that we can talk about.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to be able to do that. We're going to be able to talk about that because there's a lot of people wanting to get into dirt jumping.
Yeah.
Especially seeing my progress.
That's rad.
Sat here broken.
And then my fifth one would probably be go to the pump track, because that's really the first skill you need to learn. Yeah.
Pump track. Yeah. Just get comfortable on it, especially if you've never ridden a dirt jump bike before. They are quite alien, aren't they? They're not if you grew up on them, but if you've only ridden a dual suspension enduro bike, when you get on a dirt jump bike, it's not going to feel good for a little while. So ride it around on the streets, ride pump track, ride it everywhere. Just ride it, and then you'll feel comfortable when you come to some jumps.
I guess the dream scenario is if you've got
set it up stiff. Pump your tyres up super hard and make sure your forks are hard as hell.
Yeah, true that.
My only little tips.
Yeah, true that. I think the dream scenario, I think one that probably you'll find most people that are good at, like, maybe tricks. If you find a bomb hole or a fly out near you, that can be the start of your trick jump. So when you're crap at dirt jumping, you can just have it as just a fly out and you land on flat. And then when you're good at dirt jumping, you can have yourself a step up with a nice soft landing that you jump up onto, so you remove a lot of the like forwards momentum and speed and inertia, and then that allows you to learn tricks the best. So a step up is a really great tool if you're trying to learn those tricks and get those slopestyle runs dialed. That's right, get yourself a step up. But build it, and don't ride someone else's, build your own. Stop being lazy, get out there. That's all I've got.
Nice. Couple more?
Yeah, please.
Simon179, best flavour of fruit pastels.
That would taste the same to me, dude.
Interesting question, this. What?
That would taste the same to me, dude. I don't fucking...
I
don't discriminate. I just shove as many as I can in my mouth. Try and get as much sugar as physically possible.
What's interesting with this question, Ollie, is one of the side effects of opiates is you actually have cravings. So I was craving last week and the week before fruit gums.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Those classic sweets, fruit gums. Not had them since I was about 10.
I get those cravings.
Could not get the thought of fruit gums out of my head until I'd eaten a packet of fruit gums.
Nice.
And
was it good?
And I've been thinking about this. It's almost, mate, it's like Simon's read my mind. I feel like it's not all about single flavours with sweets. It's about dual flavouring. It's about, a red one and a black one go well together.
Okay.
No one likes the orange ones anyway, so you always put the orange one with a green one. Yeah. It's about flavour combinations and what sort of flavours you can make out of the two. That's how I approach sweets. There you go. So, yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. It's interesting. I must give that a go.
Black and red. Always black and red.
Right.
Black and red sweets. Yeah. All right.
There you go.
Okay. We got that one covered pretty good. At 2-1 Racing, if you had to take part in any other Olympic sport, not bike related, what would you do?
And I loved that meme that was going around about. Did you see that meme? It was like, imagine if the Olympics was like jury service or something like that, and you literally just get called up and you get like, Davey, you're on the team. And you're like, fuck, what team? gymnastics, and then you just have to go and try. Like how entertaining
get, like,
the Olympics would be.
Training.
Yeah, just like normal person Olympics. It'd be so good.
It would be sick, wouldn't it? Like, they call up for BMX and your team manager's Jamie Bestwick.
Yeah.
He's really, really good. You've got 30 days and you're off to
It'd be
Tokyo.
so funny, wouldn't it? Just seeing I don't know, Maureen from the shop down the road just doing synchronized swimming and dude, I think my answer to it is quite boring, and it would have to be 100 meters, because it really, I just think there's nothing more Olympic than the 100 meter race for me, personally. Olympic, so yeah. What about you?
Okay, I'd go swimming.
Would you? There you go.
I'd go swimming. I think I'd do that. I think it'd set you up pretty good for surfing. So you get another hobby out of it. You could actually paddle beyond the waves, which has always been a problem. Decent body from swimming as well. You get pretty shredded up.
You could do surfing though now in the Olympics.
It's not too hard on the body. Oh yeah, you could do surfing in the Olympics. That's true.
That would be my one outside of 100 meters.
I haven't watched that yet. I haven't watched it all. I watched a little bit of it. It was quite hard to find. Looked grim, actually.
Didn't it?
Not nice looking.
Looked like
water.
Bognor Regis.
It did, didn't it? It looked like it did. I was just going to say it looked like Scarborough. Fucking hell, it looked
fucking
disgusting.
Scarborough, dude.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, there you go, swimming.
Yeah.
If I could give you one that you had to do, and you had to do it tomorrow, it would be the high dive.
Ooh.
If I was just trying to stitch you up, and I just love the idea of you up there in your fucking Speedos, shitting yourself, big crowd, all the lights, and you've got to jump off it, and you're just going to try a flip. You're just trying flipping and spinning. No idea what's going to happen.
I've done a big one once, I've done an official, I think they call it a tombstone.
What's that?
It's called tombstone.
Oh, yeah,
so it's like
a
big sheer rock face. I've done one before I think it was in Greece on a family holiday. Yeah, sent it.
Sick.
Yeah. Found it online. We got some mopeds, hired some mopeds, me and my cousins, rode over to it.
You sent it? Nice.
Fucking
just jump
it's big,
straight
man.
off it.
Straight jump, yeah. It was massive. It was real scary. My cousin did it after me, and he hit the bottom. You had to time it with the ocean coming in.
Out.
Obviously didn't know that, so I done it. I was okay. I was like, that was insane. That was massive. My cousin was up there. He jumped off, and then we just saw all this dirt come up, and he came up with his mouth like bleeding. He bit his tongue. It was like pretty scary. It was massive.
I used to be crazy when I was younger. I used to do gainers off stuff. I used to be quite nutty. And then now I have literally zero interest in it. And I see like Jono Jones is a nutter. Jono Jones would just, he'd jump, he'd flip off anything. He's really crazy. Now I fucking tap out. I'm not into it. I just hate the idea of not knowing what's underneath and just one rock going straight up my arse or something, Just hate it. Yeah.
A scaffold.
Yeah,
pole.
exactly. A shopping trolley. It's always going to be a shopping trolley in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone's just distinguished a cock statue in the water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't think there's any body of water in the world that doesn't have a shopping trolley in it.
No, I don't think so either. No, there's a lot of those trolleys in there, man, for sure. A lot of them put in by... I won't say I've ever put one in, but I would be lying if I said I hadn't. You know what I mean? I've thrown a few in there in my time.
Have you? Yeah, you've shopping trolley thrower.
When Jackass was big, we used to use them.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Into bushes fields, and that.
Bushes and stuff. Yeah.
I was in a boat crash once in Bangkok. Doesn't really relate to it, but there's a fair few shopping trolleys in there. But I was in a boat crash in a longboat. Two longboats collided. Yeah.
Big impact.
Our boat was fine. Theirs was fucked. And there was crocodile things in the water. So we just noticed that. Well, there was actually alligators, not crocs. Wow. There was alligators or what are they called? Gharials, are they called? Anyway, they looked like crocodiles or alligators, and they were at the side, and we were all like, "Fuck, no way! There's fucking crocs here," and
shit.
And there's Komodo dragons as well, like fucking running in, and we'd only just noticed, and then huge impact, and you could see it coming from a mile off. We're like, whoa. That's crazy.
That's good story. One more,
please keep them coming, dude.
I got a couple. Tom OBH just put like the ride companion sponsored riders ? I mean, maybe we're working towards it, aren't we?
We are indeed
working towards it. We've got some stuff planned.
We got some
maybe
stuff
keep
planned.
that on the down low for a little while, huh? We've got some stuff happening. Yeah. On that teaser, L Lambert MTB. What are your thoughts on group rides now all restrictions have been lifted?
Fantastic if you can get on one. I tell you, I've never been a giant group ride guy because I build trails. I'm not trying to like fucking tell everyone about them, you know. So anytime I see a group ride, I think it looks really great, and I'd love to go riding with that many people, and it'd be fun. But yeah, we can't all do that. So
no.
I tend to ride in smaller groups personally.
I'd say just stick to smaller groups.
I don't
anyway.
hold
it's more fun.
Hold it against
Chat
anyone.
to everyone on it.
Yeah.
Chat to everyone on it. Keep the trails running better, maybe, if you're not all just ploughing down there in one group. I don't know.
You just think if you you only have to tell one kook, and that kook's going to tell a fucking load more kooks. So then you only invited one kook, but that kook's invited 7. So ultimately you've invited 8 kooks, and then each of those 8 kooks is going to tell even more people. So it's just like I try and keep them. What's that law that we were talking about? The Dunbar law.
Dunbar's number.
Dunbar's number.
People. That's how many people should know about a trail.
In
the whole
it.
world. Yeah, Dunbar's number.
Exactly. Yeah. You only got to build a trail, and then you might go on smaller rides.
This is one for you as well. H Honeywood, top pick for a mountain bike holiday.
Madeira, 100%. You know, I'm boring like that, but I absolutely love the island of Madeira, and both for the riding and for just being on an island which has its own microclimate and views and panoramas and weather and clouds and this and that. It's amazing. Madeira, 100%, and that's free ride Madeira. Because actually they're thinking about changing it on the map. It's not just going to say Madeira anymore, it's going to say free ride Madeira, because it's actually free ride Madeira's island. And John Fernandez is the mayor. So get in touch with John Fernandez, he'll hook you up.
Amazing. Okay, we got one more which I wanted to do. Let's just do this last one, and I'm sorry about this one, Rob, I kept missing it. So if there was none of the sponsorship inside of the sport, say from bike brands, parts or clothing companies, or big sponsors like Red Bull, how do you think the sport would look, and where do you see yourselves inside the world of mountain biking? Do you think it would still play such a big part of your life? Good question. Good one to end on.
Very good one to end on. Really, really good indeed, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously I wouldn't be able to have it as a job, and I'm extremely blessed. I'm so lucky because it has such a following, and it has such a because it's not a given, is it? If you do ping pong, it's not like loads of people are following you on Instagram.
It's fair. That's fair.
So
did watch a bit of that on the Olympics the other day. Quite impressive.
Very impressive, absolutely, and it can bring you great joy, no doubt. You should call it table tennis if you're not trying to offend people, I think. But
is it?
I think ping pong is I don't know, undermined.
Did you say ping pong?
I did.
Or did I say ping pong? Oh, you did.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think it's like, okay, now it's time for Olympic ping pong. No.
Why is it? Is it just the noise it makes?
So I don't even know.
It would be called bang.
I don't even know. I think more about ping pong shows. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I can't even remember what the question was now. I'm just thinking about ping pong shows.
Yeah,
what was it?
I am.
I'd certainly be still doing it loads. Even if it wasn't my job, I'd still be in the woods, digging trails, riding dirt jumps, riding mountain bikes, riding. Yeah.
I think it'd play a bigger part almost in. I don't know why. I feel like it'd play a bigger part of my life if I wasn't working in the industry and stuff. In fact, I know it would actually, because definitely at the early start of having a bike distribution company, and it put me off the sport. Yeah. So I feel like if I was one of those people who even right now, what I'm doing right now, had a normal job. I was out window cleaner.
Yeah.
It would be a bigger part of my life because I'd need it more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
To get away from the window cleaning.
Do you know how it used to be when I was younger? Was these particular dirt jump's a great example. The same goes for mountain biking, because both our sport requires people to build stuff for you to ride on. So the people that build the stuff are the very core of mountain biking, in my opinion. So it used to be that there were just like these sort of little groups, and these little, there was the Wisley people, there was the Leatherhead people, there was Chertsey trails, there was, same goes for like Pease Lake used to be like a single track area, and there were people that built up there and protected it. It would be more like that. It would be like these kind of little spots, and it was really lovely back then, because once you meet someone from that spot, you have a gift to give them, they have a gift to give you, and it worked perfectly. No one's dropping litter, because if you drop litter on someone else's trails, you have to expect someone drops litter on yours. So back then, that's what it would be like. It'd be like these little groups, I think, and it would probably work lovely. But equally, I'm so happy that the sport is bigger, because it means I get a job and there's all these new people to the sport, which is cool.
It's a great way of looking at it. Really good way of looking at it. It's interesting that you've watched it change like that over the years as well, haven't you, in a way?
Yeah, it definitely has.
Mountain biking has grown over the last 10 years, for example.
It's like nearly mainstream.
Where more people are participating. You only need one bike for most stuff.
Yeah.
Etc. etc. So interesting. Again, growing up doing what I was doing, riding dirt jumps as well. Again, we had the Monkey Pups guys, we had the Jippo people, we had the Blair Witch people, all like quite local, and they were all just these little pockets, and you get to know one person, and they'd be like, "Oh, come ride one day." All right, cool. Before social media too, you actually used to take people's numbers and be like, "Yo, can we come and ride?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy. But yeah, maybe it would be a bit more like that if there wasn't as much money and stuff involved.
I'm not saying it would be worse, but I definitely think like there's this kind of, people get shitty about like the no dig, no ride. But if no one dug, then no one would ride. And you have to think like that in order to respect a spot, or think about, if you didn't have anywhere, someone's got to dig something for you to ride. That's all you should think. So if you're not one of the people that digs something, then you should behave accordingly, I feel. And I
agree.
I guess, it's sick that there's bike parks and that there's newcomers to the sport. I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But
with you. Great answer. Really good.
Great question.
Great observation. Great question. Great answer. Great. Yeah, everything.
Everything's
all great.
great.
Really. Great episode.
Episode number 5 is fucking great, dude.
I enjoyed that. You know what number 5 is as well?
What is it?
It's my lucky number. Number 5.
Is it really? Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, got it tattooed on me.
No, you haven't. Where you got number 5? Show us.
It's just there.
For audio listeners, he's now pulling up. He's pulling aside his scrotum, and in the pad.
I managed to get number 5 in my gooch.
He's not. It's on his
so
arm.
my clock says number 5:55. That's what time it's on.
There you go.
Yeah, number 5, birthday, Dad's birthday. Everything that always happens around my life always seems to evolve around number 5. Business name 5:55.
There you go.
So the whole thing,
sick, dude.
Always
nice.
number 5.
And episode 5.
Yeah, bro.
Been a banger.
Enjoyed number 5. Really fun. Thank you. And
thank you.
Thanks to everyone out there, as usual, for listening, following, engaging, kind words, everything. It's an absolute pleasure to do this every week.
Yeah.
And it's only getting better. We've got some sponsors joining us soon. We've got other stuff going on. We've got a lot going on behind the scenes. It's just been a bit slower because I managed to royally fuck myself. So
no, dude, we're going
to
shift
fucking himself.
Up a gear. We're going to shift up a gear to really do you justice for hanging in there and listening to this utter bollocks.
And that's it, and that's that. Catch you next week, folks. It's been a pleasure, and all love. Peace.
Peace.